video I mentioned to you guys that I was really proud of myself because I haven't touched one hot cross bun yet, and Easter is a few days away, and it kind of got me thinking. I didn't want to commit to having a hot cross bun on Easter Day, so I was thinking I'm sure there's like a nice healthy alternative that I could have that tastes the same as a hot cross bun, and I kind of came up with this recipe and created tiny little mini hot cross buns. And the best thing about these is they're super healthy. It's made with all natural ingredients, there's no added sugar in them, and they taste exactly like a hot cross bun pretty much. I made them straight after I made my last video, and they turned out great, so I was like, I'm gonna do a video and show you guys how to recreate them, just in case you don't want to have a hot cross bun Easter day. Even though hot cross buns aren't really a super bad food to have, I just feel like I've been doing so well on my healthy eating that I don't really want to go off track and have one. And yeah, I think it's just more of a psychological thing for me. So I've made these ones, and I know there's no added sugar or bad processed foods in them, so I can have a clean conscience knowing that I'm still eating perfectly. If you want a healthy option hot cross bun, keep watching this video and I will show you how to make them. I'll go through and show you all the ingredients that you're going to need to make these healthy hot cross buns. So you're going to need some wholemeal spelt flour, you need some coconut flour, some rolled oats, natural salt, baking powder, some cinnamon, nutmeg, some vanilla essence. You're going to need some sultanas, and just a little tip with the sultanas, always check the ingredients. Like on this one, it says 100% sultanas, so try and get sultanas that don't have any canola oil in them or any added sugars. You're going to need 1 orange, 1 lemon, 1 egg, coconut oil, some honey, milk. You can use any type of milk that you want. I'm using almond milk that I made a couple of days ago, but you could just use regular milk or soy milk, whatever tickles your fancy. Basically all the ingredients that you need. There are a few ingredients, but most of them you'll be able to find in your pantry or cupboard. Maybe the spelt flour and the coconut flour, you might need to go out and find them, but they're usually just in like the health food section of the supermarket or in like a health food shop as well, so you shouldn't have a problem finding these ingredients. So the first step that we want to do is take your orange, and you just want to slice it down the middle and get all of the beautiful natural juice out of it. Once you've got all the juice out of the orange, you want to put the juice in a bowl, and then we're going to pop the juice in the microwave for about 10 to 20 seconds just to get it nice and warm. Once the orange juice is nice and warm, you want to measure out 1 cup of the sultanas and just pop them into the orange juice, and you want to let them soak in the orange juice for about 10 minutes, and this will just help to plumpen up the raisins and get them nice and juicy. Once you've got your raisins soaking away, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to about 180 degrees Celsius, which equals about 365 degrees Fahrenheit. So while the sultanas are soaking away in the orange juice, we can get started on making the dough for the hot cross buns. So the first thing you want to do is measure out 1.5 cups of the spelt flour. And then you want to measure the exact same amount of the coconut flour. Once you've measured your 2 flours, you want to get your rolled oats, and you need to measure 1/2 cup of those and add it to the flours. Then you need to add 1 teaspoon of your salt. Then we need to add the baking powder, but instead of just putting it into the mixture, you're going to need to sift it through. Then we can add the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and it's 2 teaspoons of the cinnamon. Okay, and it was about 1/2 teaspoon of the nutmeg. Okay, so that is all of the dry ingredients. Then what we want to do is just strain the sultanas out of the orange juice and then just pop them into the dry mixture. Once you have the sultanas in the dry mixture, you can just give the whole mixture a nice mix around. You can instantly start to smell the cinnamon and the nutmeg. Mix that together. It's time to add all the liquid ingredients. You just want to get your egg and crack that into the bowl. And we want to add the honey, and you need 2 tablespoons of honey. After the honey, we can add the vanilla, and you need about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You need about 1/4 cup of the coconut oil, so you just want to add that into the mixture as well. And then once you have all those ingredients in there, you just want to mix it really well to get everything nice and combined. Okay, once you've mixed it, it's time to add your milk. And what you want to do is add enough milk to make this mixture quite sticky. So I'm going to start off with half a cup of milk. And then just give it another mix. So you don't really want the mixture to be dry, you want it to be nice and sticky. You can see how it's getting there, but it's still quite dry, so I'm going to add more milk. A good way to test to see if the mixture's the right consistency is just grab a little bit with clean hands and kind of squidge it together, and if it holds its shape, you'll know that the consistency is right. So mine is about perfect. The next step is to grab a baking tray and line it with a piece of grease-proof paper. What I do is I grab 2 spoonfuls of the mixture, and you just want to start forming it into a round ball. And then you just want to pop it onto your baking sheet and just keep doing that until you run out of mixture, really. Once you've rolled all of the dough mixture, you just want to pop them all onto the baking tray, and you're probably going to need two baking trays for this. I managed to get about 20 balls with the mixture, so you should be able to get that amount as well. It just depends on how big you make the size of the hot cross buns. Once you've done this, you just want to move these to one side, and it's time to make the glaze that we're going to brush on top of the hot cross buns. Now the glaze is really easy to make. All you basically need is some honey. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons. You're also going to need some juice from a lemon. Just going to squeeze a little bit in. You don't want too much juice, this just kind of breaks up the honey a little bit. And you're also going to need about 1 tablespoon of milk. And then you just want to mix those ingredients together a little bit. The lemon juice should break down the honey so the mix is not as thick. So it should look nice and runny like that. Next step is to grab your little hot cross buns, and what you want to do is just kind of squish them down a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Just so they're kind of flat on top. You need a little pastry brush, and you just want to dip the brush into the glazing mixture, and you just want to basically paint that on top of them. Then we're basically done. The next step is to pop them into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. Once your hot cross buns are nice and golden brown on top, you just want to remove them from the oven and place them on a wire rack to cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. And while they're cooling, we can go ahead and get started on making the paste that goes on top of the hot cross buns. The paste is super easy to make. All you're going to need is a 1/4 cup of the coconut flour and about 3 tablespoons of cold water. And you just want to mix it all together. Then you just want to add enough water to make the consistency quite sloppy. That's probably good. And then you just need to get a Ziploc bag. And you just want to pop all of this into the Ziploc bag. And then just kind of seal the bag up. Okay guys, once the hot cross buns are nice and cool, you just want to get your paste. You just want to snip a tiny little end off the bag. And then you have a homemade piping bag. And then all you want to do is you just kind of squeeze this out to make the cross shape. It should end up looking something like that. Once you've piped your little cross onto the hot cross buns, you just kind of want to let them set for about an hour, and then you can go ahead and eat them. The ones I've made are quite small, but I prefer them this size. I think it's kind of like a psychological thing. I don't really feel as bad eating a hot cross bun this big compared to the big regular size hot cross bun. The great thing about these are that on Easter Day, when all my family are having hot cross buns, I'm not gonna kind of feel left out. I can just pull these out and have one or two of these. I mean, they're obviously not gonna be exactly the same as hot cross buns, but it's kind of more the taste that I was looking for. But I think they turned out great, and yeah, they're clean, they're healthy, there's no sugar in them, there's no butter in them, it's just coconut oil. They're all natural ingredients were used to make them, so I'm pretty proud of myself for coming up with these. Let me know if you're going to try them, and you can make them bigger if you want to, or you can leave them small like that. I think they look kind of cute like that. So I hope you enjoyed my Easter hot cross bun recipe. I hope you all have a really great Easter, and I will see you all again soon. Bye!